My name is Brad.
My name's Dawson Schaefer.
I'm Bill.
And this is my very first missions trip with a team from New Joy.
People asked me before we left how I feel and what we're going to do. And I've never been out of the U.S., not to mention a third world country.
It's just an overwhelming experience, really.
Balalay is one of the poorest areas in the fish section.
It is a small village that is far, far out.
They built a temporary church hoping that a pastor would come, and with that in mind we thought it was ready for them to have a real church, and it was in need of a roof to one more step in finishing the church.
The homes in Balalay were a lot of mud huts, which was just mud piled up and stacked, and there was like hay and grass mixed in with it.
Yeah, they're not the best looking things and definitely not the sturdiest houses I've ever seen. They're mud and grass huts. Like, you could probably blow on them and then fall over.
There's maybe 20 or 30 houses there. Some of them are old mud huts, and some are nice buildings that have been built over the last couple of years. The first one was built by New Joy back in 2009.
And we just thought it was a God-given neat thing that we could go back and build them a church after almost 4 years. That's pretty neat.
I was approached the first day we go out there and we realized there was no bathroom. What do I know about building an outdoor bathroom, for crying out loud?
I thought you were going to stand on my shoulders.
Oh gosh.
Voila! Look at that!
The kids always wanted to be next to us, help us work.
They really enjoyed just touching you, holding on to your hands, your fingers, everything.
They would poke your skin because it would change colors. It was really cool.
It was really cool as we're scraping and as we're painting, these kids start bringing over our ladders. We actually were able to get some tools into their hands.
When we first arrived in Lubens, we went around with a couple Bibles we were going to hand out to some families.
This village used to be a central hub for voodoo practice. After we returned, my heart was very heavy and was hurting a lot for the people. We in our own flesh and who we are will never be able to meet that full need.
They want to believe that God is their Savior. But on the other hand, you have the witch doctors and the voodoo and maybe the way that they grew up, being in a third world country and living the way that they live. I think it's a struggle for them to believe that God's out there and God's has his hand on them.
They did a little going away present with us and sang.
I pray that the impact we made in Balalay was a lasting one.
We made a church, but it's not just a church. We made it a safe place to go.
I will see things different at home, all the luxuries and the extra things that I have.
Everyone out here is so kind, and that kindness rubs off, and you become more of a kind person.
I think there's some tears shed, and just to see the people in the poverty and despair they live in, and I'm hoping that the team, they would look more towards the hope that people have. They've been impacted. We'll have to see for how long and for how deep.